I'm using this under the Fair Use Act, and I'm going to use a few of the news networks clips, and these are older clips so that we do not forget who Donald Trump is, because I'm going to also use older videos that I've made in this video and videos of Robert Kennedy Jr. Let's listen.
With a lot of people don't want to take the vaccine. Well, this played right into their hands. And they want me to do public service messages and everything about everybody taking the vaccine. And look, I guess in a certain way, I'm the father of the vaccine because I was the one that pushed it.
That was Donald Trump's interview with Fox News with Marie Bartiromo, where he admitted in May the 9th of 2021 that he is the father, and what an odd statement to make, that he is the father of the vaccine, and that he is the one that really pushed it.
And it's going to be very difficult for that to be done, and it's very expensive.
While Mr. Biden said he would be willing to get a vaccine, he would not require it for all Americans.
I don't think it should be mandatory. I wouldn't demand it be mandatory, but I would do everything in my power. Just like I don't think masks have to be made mandatory nationwide.
He also acknowledged the ban.
Now, I wanted to show that because all of this is nothing but political theater. Realize it's nothing but political theater, virtue signaling and pandering to their particular facets of supporters, because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris both came out and said they would not take it. They would not take it. And I'm going to continue to show that.
Be vaccinated, need to be vaccinated. But half of Americans now say they wouldn't take a vaccine if it was released now. If the Trump administration approves a vaccine before or after the election, should Americans take it, and would you take it? If the public health professionals, if Dr. Fauci, if the doctors tell us that we should take it, I'll be the first in line to take it, absolutely. But if Donald Trump tells us that we should take it, I'm not taking it.
So both Kamala Harris and Joe Biden said they would not be taking the vaccine, but they did in fact take the vaccine that Trump declares he is the father of. Understand that. Continue to listen.
Including, I guess, on December 21st, we took care of Joe Biden because he got his shot. He got his vaccine. He forgot. It shows you how unpainful that vaccine shot is. So everybody go get your shot.
It works incredibly well, 95% maybe.
So again, December of 2021, that was Donald Trump touting how he had even convinced Joe Biden to take the vaccine and Kamala Harris when they said they would not take it. That was him touting his victory over them. Listen to that again closely.
Including, I guess, on December 21st, we took care of Joe Biden because he got his shot. He got his vaccine. He forgot. It shows you how unpainful that vaccine shot is. So everybody go get your shot.
It works incredibly well, 95% maybe.
That was Donald Trump, the father of the vaccine, touting how he had even gotten Joe Biden to take the vaccine. Continue to learn and watch.
State and corporate power. Most notably, he went after former President Trump, blaming him for the historic lockdowns during the pandemic. Let's watch a bit of that.
The worst thing that he did to this country, to our civil rights, to our economy, to the middle class in this country was the lockdown.
That is Robert Kennedy Jr. announcing his run for office. Robert Kennedy Jr. is the most vocal anti-vaccine voice in America, and actually the world. That was him announcing his run April the 20th, 2023, to run against, in opposition to Donald Trump. Because listen to what he says that Donald Trump is responsible for.
State and corporate power. Most notably, he went after former President Trump, blaming him for the historic lockdowns during the pandemic. Let's watch a bit of that.
The worst thing that he did to this country, to our civil rights, to our economy, to the middle class in this country was the lockdown.
And Robert Kennedy Jr., again, the most vocal voice in the world against the dangers of vaccines, is running against Donald Trump and says he is responsible for what happened. And what I'm about to show you unequivocally proves that.
This interview he did.
Trump almost gave you a position, or whenever he became president, wasn't there talk of that, and then it kind of went away? He just kind of went into the wind with it.
Well, what happened was he over the Christmas vacation, 2016, he's elected, right? And then obviously the election is in November. So I was skiing and with my kids in Colorado over Christmas vacation, and I got a call from his chief of staff saying the president-elect wants to meet with us. And he wants to talk about vaccines. So, I've been an actor.
What did he just say? Amazingly, Donald Trump contacted Robert Kennedy Jr. before he ever took office. Understand that. Donald Trump, before he ever took office, contacted Robert Kennedy Jr. and tried to give him a position in his administration and wanted to discuss, of all things, vaccines. Before he ever took office in 2016. That was years before an event unfolded in 2019. Continue to listen.
So realize Donald Trump, one of his first things on his agenda was to try to get this man, Robert Kennedy Jr., on his team. Realize that. And note what the old saying says about how you want to keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So he wanted Robert Kennedy, who had already sued him twice, to get on his team, and before he had actually even taken office. Now, this is another part of that interview that's...
So this was the interview that I did a video on my other channel quite some time ago. Robert Kennedy Jr. was being interviewed by another Louisiana native. Incredibly enough, the things that come out of Louisiana, the things that are being exposed, the brilliant minds, that Theo Von decided to have Robert Kennedy Jr. on his show to reveal that Donald Trump was behind it all and was trying to get him on his team, because once you join an administration, a presidential administration, you're sworn into silence. And that is why Donald Trump wanted Robert Kennedy on his team. He would have to be silent. He wouldn't be able to be vocal about being an anti-vaxxer. Continue to listen.
A week later, Pfizer made $1 million contribution to Trump's inaugural.
Realize that.
Amazingly, that Donald Trump, after these meetings, Pfizer made $1 million contribution to Trump's inauguration party. Well, Trump swore to everybody that he was not taking money from the big giants, from any of the giants, but Robert Kennedy Jr. exposed him for the lying, fraudulent behavior that Donald Trump is known for. Can watch that again.
A week later, Pfizer made $1 million contribution to Trump's inaugural.
Amazingly, how Donald Trump is caught in yet another lie. If Donald Trump's lips are moving, you can be sure that he is lying. Continue to watch.
And then Trump comes in, and we continue to have some meetings with Fauci, and that he...
With Fauci. Now,
amazingly, before Trump ever took office, he was meeting with Dr. Fauci and Robert Kennedy Jr. Why would he be doing that in 2016? Was there a plan being orchestrated. Robert Kennedy Jr. exposed the orchestrated plan that Donald Trump and Dr. Fauci was concocting as early as 2016. Continue to listen. Because none of this was an accident. None of it was an accident, ladies and gentlemen. And Robert Kennedy Jr. appeared on Theo Von's show to answer those very credible questions.
So you don't miss it. Who Trump was meeting with before he ever took office. Many meetings, multiple meetings, he says.
We continue to have some meetings with Fauci, and that he had set up.
That Donald and Fauci had set up.
We're part of this process, and we're rolling to get this thing started. And he seemed legit when you talk to him. He seemed like somebody. He seemed like he's very, very charming, but he's not. Listen, Fauci. I'm about to publish a book on Fauci. Yeah, and he's he's been there for 50 years, so he's like J. Edgar Hoover. And the only way that you last in that agency for 50 years is by carrying water for the pharmaceutical industry. And under his...
And he pointed out something very important there, that Fauci has lasted in the position he did for 50 years. The reason he lasted was because he was carrying the water. He was doing the bidding of the pharmaceutical industry. And note again, Donald Trump was meeting with Dr. Fauci and called this man, Robert Kennedy Jr., into those meetings, trying to get him on board with the plan, the agenda that they were setting forth and orchestrating as early as 2016. That's how far it goes back, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump was responsible for what occurred. You need to know that and understand that. And this is Robert Kennedy now running against him to ensure
state and corporate power. Most notably, he went after former President Trump, blaming him for the historic lockdowns during the pandemic. Let's watch a bit of that.
The worst thing that he did to this country, to our civil rights, to our economy, to the middle class in this country, was the lockdown.
State and corporate power.
It was all Donald Trump orchestrating it with Dr. Fauci and the rest of the Democrats. It was all Donald Trump.
With a lot of people don't want to take the vaccine. Well, this played right into their hands. And they want me to do public service messages and everything about everybody taking the vaccine. And look, I guess in a certain way, I'm the father of the vaccine because I was the one that pushed it.
Out of his own mouth, that he declares he is the father of the vaccine, and he is the one that pushed it. Don't forget what unfolded. As Donald Trump tells his lies, I will continue to expose those lies, just like Robert Kennedy Jr. is, to ensure this man does not achieve his goals. God bless.